Hello, hello. Let's see if we get our chat working, get some verification, and we got some audio. Let's see if we get our chat working, get some verification, and we got some audio. Check 1, 2. Let's see if we get our chat working, get some verification, and we got some audio. Check 1, 2. Let's see if we get our chat joining DED. It is a late live stream, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live stream, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining DED. It is a late live here in Echo, so probably won't get too many people in here. But the chat joining here. All right. I turned the audio off on the actual live stream, so let's see if that helps. Let me know if there's still an echo. Yes, Killzone, thank you. All right, so lesson learned. From now on, when we do live streams, I got to go onto my channel and I have to take the audio off. That should be YouTuber 101. I don't claim to be YouTuber 101. I am learning every day as I go. So, all right, now that we got that fixed, I think we can move on and start talking. I'm going to have to pop in and out of the chat just so you guys know. I want to get someone in there to moderate at some point. Not that we're really going to need it, but as far as, people saying bad stuff, but just for people to answer some questions because it's hard to. Anytime I click onto a page, I got to reopen the chat side to see what you guys are saying, and that's important. I want to see what you guys have to say and answer questions and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna scroll up real quick. We got the echo thing figured out. Take your time. Thank you. Much appreciated, guys. I seriously appreciate that. I know that can get so annoying. People leave very quickly when they hear that type of stuff. So no more echo. Great. Yeah, it's because I muted the audio on my actual YouTube channel. That's why. So it was playing my channel as I was speaking. So we want to say bad stuff. Hey man, once the moderators are in there, it's going to be kind of hard to do that, but I'm not too crazy about the negative stuff. I mean, if it gets to the point where it's straight up insulting or you're insulting other people, then yes, absolutely, that's going to be removed. We don't deal with that. We're here to have a good time and talk and learn. And there goes the joining DED once again. Man, you are awesome. I don't know what else to say, man. You are just a man. Yeah, Killzone. He's been doing that nonstop. Great friend, big help all the time. Can we discuss the area of high pressure expected to cause a heat wave in the south? Yes, we can. In fact, that is something we can look at on Tropical Tidbits. We can go to Ventu Sky. I have a few tabs pulled up. Oh, True Helper, there you go. Yeah, True Helper. I actually tried reaching out to you. I didn't want to do that without him being okay with it. So as long as he's cool with it, then that's something we can do. Absolutely. In fact, you know what? I'll throw you on there right now. I'll just put on really quick. I'm gonna put up the please hold page, and I'm gonna get True Helper in there so he can do his thing. So do that really quickly. All right. Should only take a second, guys. We'll get this down. Don't you worry. I'm still here. I'm just getting True Helper set up with the good old blue wrench. You're very welcome, Yak. You're very welcome. Hi to you too, Tina. How's everyone doing tonight? Bum, bum, bum. Almost there. Oh, yeah. Creator Studio. Anyone in here that's dealing with this stuff going on in Texas right now? Or at least it looks like it's sort of leaving Texas, but all right, Trelper, I got your URL ready, so I'm just gonna pop it in here, and you should be good to go. And then we'll get on with it. T. All right, and we should be good. True Helper, you are there. I believe. In fact, let's see. There we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I grew up a storm chaser. Dad was a meteorologist for the National Weather Service. That is awesome, Miss Impressed. I mentioned this last night. My brother's a Navy meteorologist, 25 years. He works for the aviation department now, so he gets to reroute airplanes around significant weather, which I'm sure he's doing plenty of right now. Nah, True Helper's a pro. He or she. Jesus, I feel so bad about that, but a lot of people use True Helper. They know what they're doing, that's for sure. So that's why I wanted to get the approval of Leak Project before doing it, and that's how this works. I don't want to step on people's toes. I don't want to do anything like that whatsoever. Being that I'm new to this live stream thing, and I'm gonna have mistakes along the way, but they're gonna get sorted out. You know, it's the only way to do it. You got to just go live sometimes and bite the bullet and learn as you go. And that's what we're going to do. And eventually things will get better. But with that said, check out Texas. Let me zoom in a little bit. Texas, what is going on lately? Now, this isn't tornado watch color. This is child abduction emergency. Wow. So there's something going on in Texas with a child abduction. But if you notice this shade of yellow here, that is in the east part of Texas. This is a serious area right here with tornado warnings going up into Louisiana. So we got anyone that in that area in the room right now? SpongeBob. Yeah, and then look up here, guys, at the Burgundy flash flood warnings up in Iowa. We talked about this last night. And that's the big concern, everybody, is Mississippi River and the Great Lakes. In fact, is that a dense fog advisory we have in the Great Lakes? That's not good. That's just more moisture in the Great Lakes or over the Great Lakes. Again, they act like oceans. So they have tides. It's a full moon. No joke. I posted about 4 minutes of raw footage of the full moon before just to get it out to you guys. And as I'm filming it, it was a 6.2 official earthquake in New Caledonia. In fact, I have some pictures pulled up. We're going to look at some past quakes in that area. If you guys remember, recently there was an 8.2 by Fiji. We had a 7.7 in Papua New Guinea, 7.7 in New Caledonia back on December 5th. We had a lot going on in the last couple months as far as earthquake goes. But really quick, let's go over this chart. We'll see what's going on around your area, wherever you live, in the Dakotas. Get my tablet here. All right, so we got North Dakota with frost advisories. Then we got South Dakota. Is that really a hydraulic outlook? See what I mean? They change these colors every day. So there is a hydraulic outlook warning going on in South Dakota, including parts of Minnesota, parts of Iowa, Wisconsin. Does anyone out there know what that actually means? I just got that on my phone, JJ Grace. Literally, my phone just vibrated as you sent that. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. Hurricanes for me. I'm in trauma tech that always stays. Okay, yes. So, I'm assuming RN nurse or something along those lines. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I mean, it's part of the job. My brother is an EMT worker. He works for multiple fire departments, and he's in the same situation. I mean, obviously we live in the Northeast, so it's more rare to get these hurricanes or stuff like that, but we still get these big storms out here where you can't leave your house, but he's expected to be out there, in the elements. So I feel you there. I really do. Misimpressed, thank you so much. It means a lot to us. Really does. Let's see what else, if I missed anything here. It was wild as the snow was turning black and barely melted. Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about some weird snow. I won't go too much into that, but snow that's not seeming like it's snow. A little wet over here in Minnesota, not doing pretty good, but doing pretty good. That's good to know. And hello, my love. Glad to see you. All right, let's talk. Let's see what else is up. All right, so we went over a bit of this chart. This pink area here is basically you're seeing the Sierra Nevada mountains. Drop it down to here, winter storm warning. Unreal. Winter storm warning for the Sierra Nevada. And then that's more than likely going to dump at least some snow into western Nevada. I mean, think about this, guys. It is May 19th going into the 20th. And we are still seeing snow in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and it's moving over into western Nevada. That purple again. Winter weather advisory. It's unbelievable. We have every single season going on right now in the United States. Every season. Tornadoes, flooding. We got real warm weather in the southeast right now because that jet stream's coming right like this, keeping everything like pushed up in this direction, which is why I'm really concerned about the northern part of the Mississippi River and the Great Lakes themselves. And then that dark green over here that we were talking about earlier with Washington in the Oregon area. It's amazing to me. I mean, last year, I have snapshots from last year where you didn't see more than two colors at a time on this chart unless we were dealing with like one system, but this has been going on for weeks now, absolutely just weeks. This is a GIF graphic of what to expect between now and I believe the 21st, it says down here. So it goes from now to the 21st, where you see that red. Major thunderstorms are expected. So, again, there is a situation that has kind of been pulling off of Texas right now into Oklahoma, into the belly button, ground zero, we call it, of the U.S. But there is another one, guys. It's like, this is why I keep repeating that there are just waves after waves of this stuff coming. And they seem to be either dumping straight up from the Alaskan area, and then another set comes up from this way, and they meet right here, and this is where everything starts to blow up. And if I can get the COD satellite chart up, you can see this is what's leaving Texas right now. It's clipping Louisiana. We got Arkansas involved in it. Multiple tornado warnings today and touchdowns, in fact. Let's get that site up, actually, the Tornado HQ site. And that's not how you do it. But anyway, we'll just look at this as we can. 4 hours ago, ABC News, tornadoes touched down in several states. So, yeah, we've had touchdowns in multiple states today. Tornado rages across Kansas as U.S. storms batter the U.S. This has been weeks now. Absolute weeks. All right, let's see what the latest ones are here. All right, good. Most have expired as of now. So we did have a lot of action going on. Kansas, Texas, Kansas, Texas, Arkansas. As we said, that's all based on this chart right here. You can clearly see it here. You can switch to these different settings here, but this is the most detailed one as far as you can see where the significant weather is besides a legit Doppler radar. So you can also see that via the lightning. It's just, I turn those green lines off. They're too much sometimes. But I explained last night, when you see those green lines, those are just the sensor buildings all over the country, including Canada, that shoot a green line to it, acknowledging that they are the ones that picked up that specific lightning strike. So when you're getting lightning like this, like hundreds of strikes within minutes, those green lines can just, take over the page and it's hard to see. But guys, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, and now even Mississippi, this is just going to keep happening. And it's very unfortunate, but it's a double system situation. It comes from here, it comes from here, and then boom, it's always ground zero. I mean, take a look at that. It's unbelievable. It just does not end. Yeah, Jalen, wow's right. This is a live look, too. This is happening as we speak. Bucks County, Pennsylvania, pretty decent with the weather lately. I can agree with that. I mean, we've had some, we've been having these dark clouds roll in, and we get the wind as if we're going to get this huge storm. And it's because I live in somewhat of a valley, and I'm telling you, this valley breaks weather in half. Like, you'll see this giant front moving in from west to east, coming up to northeast PA, and the valley's right about here, and you just see it split. It like V's to the south and then V's to the north, and then it reforms right at the border of northeast Pennsylvania going into South New York. It's incredible. It happens all the time. I mean, we do get our storms. I had a live stream a couple weeks ago, an attempted live stream. I was outside with my phone right after what we thought was a tornado, and it turned out it was. We had a tornado very close to us in northeast PA, and then 6 others in western PA. So I even tried getting a cop to talk about it, and he just kept driving by me. He wanted nothing to do with it. Yeah, we're up high on the on one side of the valley. So, I mean, the tornado situation for us, at least my specific area, I don't have too much to worry about. But down in the valley, that's a different story. So my brother, he sends me pictures of areas like Wilkes-Barre, I believe, and Scranton, of just devastation. Like, a tornado ripped right through there. It took out a industrial building, flipped over cars, all that stuff. Vermont. Let's see what the... So this is frame 200 right here, guys. So this is the most current look at what we have going on. Vermont. It looks to me like you guys are cold right now. Cold and possible snow. Now, who asked that question? Are you getting snow right now in Vermont? Andrew Bergen. There you go. Carol. Hi, Carol. Great to see you. Big building demolition in Bethlehem tomorrow. Wonder if it'll register as a quake. I'll be looking out for that. That's a good question because sometimes that does happen. Usually on the earthquake site I use, which is this one, they will specifically tell you whether it's an explosion or not. And explosions are represented by diamonds, not circles. We had a couple of those in Nevada recently where you'll see a little diamond and you'll click it and it will literally say explosion. So it's not something they try to hide. They, it could be mine explosions, quarry, um, things like that. But while we're talking about the topic, here is that 6.2 that struck along the Ring of Fire again, guys. I mean, we were just talking about this last night with the 6.0. This is now a 6.3 east of Tadine, New Caledonia. And I pulled up a few pictures here to show you what's been going on in that area. Now, if you guys remember, New Caledonia had quite an earthquake on December 5th of 2018. This was last year. 7.5 followed by aftershocks of 6.6. So, I mean, this whole theory of New Zealand and this tsunami, or New Zealand getting a huge quake, it's just looking more and more prominent. I mean, this area has been getting lit up. It's unbelievable. In fact, let me open these with photo. Open with photos. There we go. Much better. And then we can look at them each as we go. All right, so we do have an invest in the Atlantic Ocean. Well, not an invest quite yet. 40% chance over 5 days. This is the first time we have seen the color orange, which is 40 to 60% chance. So we'll take a look at that on Tropical Tidbits. This is the biggest one we've had. The first one was 10%. We had that one next to Florida that was 30, and I believe this is pretty much the same event now up to 40% over the next 5 days. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Now, if you remember, September 6th of 18, we had what registered as an 8.1, and then they figured and did the math, and it became a 7.8. That was Fiji, which is very close to New Caledonia, right there with New Zealand, right there with all those areas just to the east of Australia. And we also have, I'll show you guys that one later. This was the moon video I had up earlier today, messing with the ISO. There was a lot of clouds, but with the camera, I was able to finally get through the clouds and kind of pull the moon out until those dark ones came in, and that's when I kind of just lost it right there. So I was switching the ISO back and forth to try to get a clear shot, but as far as clear goes, that's what I got with my camera. Once I uploaded the images and got them on the laptop, I was able to pull out some of the detail in the craters. In fact, my buddy Chris, I've been talking to him on Twitter for a bit. Just an incredible photographer. I'm going to post his links in his channel in a little bit. Here's the picture I took right before I started filming. So this is your full quote-unquote blue moon of this evening. So this was the best shot I could get. I did a little tweaking with it just to pull out some of the craters. And yeah, that's a full moon, all right. Beautiful looking moon, but there was no blue to be seen. If anything, it was red. It was a red moon tonight. And as far, we'll go back to the earthquake pass. I just want to get through these bigger earthquakes we've had over the last year because there's been a lot of them. This was a 7.0. This was on March 1st, 2019 of this year. This was near Chile. Technically Peru. Chile would be down in this area. But we've been seeing a lot of big quakes here too. Same thing, right along the Ring of Fire. 7.2 in the Philippines, December 29th. That was last year. And then this is what we were talking about with the solar particles passing through Earth, coming off the sun. And then we made a connection with how you know, when the Earth's magnetic field dropped, coincidentally, we had that strong 6.0 yesterday. So it makes you wonder. You know, I'm not saying that's fact or fiction. I'm just saying it's just very interesting to see stuff like that happen. And then 8 minutes later, you get a massive earthquake in the west part of the Pacific Ocean. So that is a pretty picture of the sun. If you look now, I would swear the moon has turned by at least 25%. Bunny ears. A little used to say, are you almost standing straight up? Yeah. You know, I was starting to match up some pictures of the moon. And yeah, I mean, it rotates like. It rotates not on a left to right spin. It's like a twist, you know? Like rather than flipping a quarter around, you just spin it on a desk. And that's what the moon's been doing. So, I mean, that's I've been noticing that. The craters are in different spots, all sorts of stuff like that. Look up red and look at images. You'll be shocked. I will absolutely do that. Thank you, Killzone. Appreciate it. What's the outlook for storms in New York tomorrow? All right, let's see. Let's Google Earth. So go back to here. Effect. Check out Tropical Tidbits. And let's see what they got to say. This is set for the 19th, so it's the first 6 hours of May 19th, so this is correct. We're up to date here. See if I can move this thing. All right, so for New York, right now, to me that looks like just, you know, rain. It doesn't look like there's going to be anything as far as in the beginning of the day at least. Once I move this thing another 6 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours, and then we get into the 20th. It all depends on this low pressure system. Wherever you see this L, the rings around it, that is usually the more active area of storms and the lightning and the severe part of this stuff. So that's why I'm always stressing, especially during hurricane season, when you see the low pressure with the rings around it, the tighter these rings are, the more winds you're going to get. You're going to get those high winds. You're going to get those straight line storms, the tornado producing storms, although I don't expect to see tornadoes coming up to this area quite yet. I mean, with the weather we've been seeing lately, I mean, I could be totally wrong on that. I'm going based on what I've known from growing up that Tornado Alley is Tornado Alley. And then I said last night, a lot of people from Oklahoma and Nebraska and areas of that, you know, they're saying that Tornado Alley is moving east. And that could be due to the possible pole shift. It could be due to the jet stream just being, you know, in a weird mood, wanting to, you know, mess with us. There's a lot of things that play that could cause this stuff. But this is a severe strip of weather right here going right over the Great Lakes. I mean, the last thing we need, guys, is more water in the Great Lakes and the Mississippi River. This is going to turn into an issue, and I don't like coming on here to scare people or you know, be like, oh my God, we're going to be flooded out and everyone's going to have to move and this and that. But it's just, I mean, these lakes are already at peak, and each year they've been rising. So each one of the Great Lakes at this moment right now, and at least for the last 18 months, has been above average. And with all this weather and all this water moving into the Mississippi and moving into the Great Lakes, I mean, you can only expect that it's going to get worse. And I could get into some articles about it and stuff like that, but we're going to keep this live stream under 2 hours tonight, only because I want to get, you know, I want to get the practice down. And you guys are awesome. I mean, it's just like, it's so great having a group of subs that actually help rather than criticize, even though I can take it. I could take criticism all day long. I make mistakes every single video. I could barely pronounce half the states in our country, let alone all over the world. So I'm just going to say it as I see it, and then you guys can correct me in the comments, and I'll give you a nice thumbs up and a love, always. I'll always do that. Look at the national SPC. If you may look at the national SPC. JG Grace, what might that be? Where can I look at that? Oh, God. Don't do it, man. Just don't. The 80 joining DED, don't do it. DS knows what time it is, T. I'm going to hit play here. Check out the movement of this. So it's going to go all the way to the end here. This is going into the 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, and now you're going to see some just broad green color coming up because we're way far into the future. See how that just changes right there? You don't get much detail past that because this chart's taking us into June 1st, but what did I just see? What did you guys see there? Oh, okay. Nothing like that. I do want to check this out, though. There's been some talk about this invest. We already spoke about it. It's at 40% now. So what I'll usually do is I'll go to this site right here, Tropical Tidbits, great site. I always try to credit them. I hope they do not come back to bite me in the butt one day about using their site. I'm pretty sure it's a fair use site, and that's why it's here, if I'm not mistaken. But just these websites allow you to do this stuff. That's what's incredible. National Weather Service. I should have known that. Thank you, Jay Grace. Yes, National Weather Service. I will check that site. Last month, I had a tornado topple a tree on my car and porch. Where were you misimpressed? What part of the U.S.? Yeah, John Games, man. I say what I see. You know, that's the only way to do it. I'm not here to, make things up. That's why I love being on here with these charts, just to show you, not to just say something's going to happen and hope for the best. That's why I'm not too big into predicting. When we start seeing these hurricanes rolling off the west coast of Africa, you could be sure that I'm going to be on those sites on a daily basis, watching them, kind of giving you an idea of what direction they might go to depending on the atmospheric conditions. But when it comes to the hurricanes, you're going to start see this high pressure right here? You're going to see that start covering. In fact, I could switch the dynamics here. We'll go to 850, and it's going to change what your view is. This is the view you're going to see when we start looking for hurricanes. So what you'll do, and anyone can do this, it's very easy. You go to Tropical Tidbits. You pick your forecast model. You can pick the GFS. You can do the European model. You could do the new FV3 GFS model, which tend to exaggerate things last year. But the point being is that this high pressure bubble, every year you start to see this thing form in the Atlantic Ocean, and there's a name for it. It's the Bermuda. What is it called? The Bermuda bubble. Can't believe I can't remember this name, and I cover hurricanes. Am I crazy for loving hurricane season, or is it a Floridian thing? No, you are not crazy, and you know what? I relate to that because I get comments sometimes saying, yeah, people are like, "What? It seems like you're wishing hurricanes upon people, and you're wishing for devastation." That is the complete opposite of the type of person I am. I cover these storms because it's a passion. I mean, watching storms develop and watching hurricanes develop, it's an incredible thing. I mean, weather runs our lives. I mean, we have to revolve everything we do around weather. There's no doubt about it. And not just weather, but earthquakes, volcanoes. I mean, you guys have been seeing the western part of the Pacific Ocean. Imagine being a resident or living in Papua New Guinea right now. What must be going through those poor people's minds, and, where could they go? I mean, it's an island, and it's not like everyone has the money to just get a plane ticket. And sorry about that. Almost pulled out my mic cord. To get on an airplane and just go, rent a hotel somewhere safe and go stay there. That was the big issue with Puerto Rico. No one had anywhere to go. They were stuck. No cell phones, no power, no water, no nothing. It was horrible. But I reported on it. And yeah, a lot of people, they were telling me not to report on it because it's wrong. But it's not wrong. There's no way it's wrong. It's you gotta warn people, and even after it comes and goes, you still want to put attention on them as often as we can. If someone's not going to do it, someone has to. The NOAA SPC. Yeah, let's check it out. In fact, if you want to provide me with a link, that might be easier to get to exactly where you want to go. Because we have all sorts of loops here. Because this website extends out. This is the basic storm predictor chart of that, but there's a lot more tabs you got to hit to get exactly to where you want to go. Misimpressed. That's how Caroline and I are. Especially when I'm doing the videos. She's out there taking pictures, sending me stuff nonstop. We just, it's a team effort. We get it up, we get it out there as soon as we can. That's what we try to do. All right, Isaiah sent a message on Twitter here. Let's see what he had to say. Ooh, very nice photo of the moon, Isaiah. Very nice photo. I opened it on my phone, so I don't have it up here on the laptop to show everyone, but I could do that in the future for sure. Yes, chill vibes. We finally are getting this down. We're finally figuring out how to make this go smooth without the hiccups and the echoes and this and that. So yesterday I had a revelation that you can't have, when you're on this screen, if you have one thing clicked, the other one actually slows down the buffer. That's why you're seeing this window into infinity. So I clicked off of it, and then all of a sudden the buffer was down and we were live. Then today, what happened was there was an echo going on, and I realized that I had my YouTube channel opened and the volume was up. So you got to turn the volume off on your own YouTube channel so there's no echo. So we all figured that out together. I got a lot of help from the chat, and here we are. No echo. I love it. Look at that lightning. Damon Hogan, thank you so much, man. Far too kind. Far too kind. Not necessary, but you guys, it means a lot. And you're going to hear me say that a lot anytime you see these things. It's what, I'm not saying it's money that motivates me to do this by any means. I've been doing YouTube for 15 years. I have a YouTube channel that's 15 years old. When I used to do the stunt stuff, I still have the channel. A lot of the videos are on private because with all the new rules on YouTube and stuff, I have to go back and put those warnings out there. But I'm going to share that stuff with you guys to show you what I used to do in my life. But thank you so much again, Damon Hogan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's Connective Outlook on SPC. Connective Outlook. I wish there was a way I can just activate links for a moment so we can... In fact, True Helper, you don't have to do this, but if you know the link that Jay Grace is talking about and you want to post it, that might help, but I don't have that one saved as like a direct link. Cynthia, thank you so much. Cynthia Graves. Cynthia Graves. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, you guys are great. Ugh. I could sit here and just thank you guys forever, but then we wouldn't get anything done. Live stream. Yes, Kelly Simpson, my meteor friend. Me and Kelly used to sit on the Live Echo Meteor website for hours at a time, just waiting for those big ones. And Kelly's got some great videos. Just if you guys want to ever put on a video and relax and like meditate, go to this channel right now and you will get some of the most beautiful sounds, water running, you name it. It's just awesome. I've used his site many times just to calm myself down. It's incredible. Same thing with my buddy Chris. I don't know if he's in here or not, but I've been talking with him on Twitter. He's been giving me a lot of tips on the photography stuff and oh, you're so welcome, Kelly. You know that, bud. You know that. There we go. All right. Let's punch it in. Thank you, Killzone. Sorry that you had to do that yourself, but I just was not prepared for that link. All right. So this would be 12. All right. So we got we'll zoom in a little bit here. And we'll look at the outlook. So this would be the 4 to 8 day outlook. Current 3-day outlook. They're showing that mid part, the north part of Texas and Oklahoma, moderate risk. And then we got this up here. So, yeah, look how that's kind of twisting. In fact, does that not sort of match this? I mean, if you take, you got to incorporate the jet stream into this too. I know this gets a little messy here, but you take this and you hook it around like that, and then you go to this site here. Check that out. It just matches perfectly. And then we're going to see this. And that is, it's going to come up to New York, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Northern Virginia. Might widen out, but the point here, again, is the Great Lakes. Lake Ontario, Lake Erie. Man, it's not going to stop. Yeah, I know, Kelly. I remember watching those. You've been doing some newer stuff, right? I've been super busy trying to, figure these the live stream stuff out and stuff like that. So I apologize for not getting over to your channel as much, but that will change. That's for sure. That's why I want everyone to know, check this channel out. You guys, he's got the spirit in him for sure. Thank you, True Helper. Boom. There you go, guys. Check out that link. That's Kelly Simpson. There's not one video on that channel you will not like. All right. Let's get back to this chart. Let's refresh it, see if we have any changes. Not much. I'm not seeing any bright red, which is good. So that means those tornadoes aren't so much there. The yellow is tornado watch. So we still got that going on in Texas and Louisiana. And it's going to be on a repeat cycle. That's why you're seeing these greens here. These greens are just flooded rivers and streams. The entire Mississippi going up all the way into Iowa now. So this green is going to come all the way up here eventually. You're going to see the whole Mississippi River highlighted. And then if you guys remember, it was, last summer, the summer before, there was parts of the Mississippi River that were completely dried out and like bare. It was like bare bones. It was below level, and now it's cresting on a daily basis. Do we have anyone in here that's in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas right now that is actually witnessing or feeling what this is what this is here? Check out my Joe Weather channel sub, everyone. Does the full moon gotta do anything with the weather? Well, in my opinion, obviously, you know, I've always learned in school that it affects the tides, but it was kind of weird being out there filming the full moon tonight and then having that 6.2 earthquake strike at the same time. But with that said, that entire area of the country has been getting hit hard. So if I go to settings here and I go to the last 7 days of 4.5 and higher, just look. I mean, it's right there. This is the last 7 days. Significant earthquakes of 4.5 and higher. And then if you take this down to largest magnitude first, just check out some of these numbers. Here's the 7.5 we had on the 14th, right here, Papua New Guinea. Then the 6.3 that we had tonight, or a couple hours ago, New Caledonia. And we had a 7.7 there in December of 2018. And then we had a 6.1 on the 12th. That was actually Central America right here. That was interesting. That was an interesting quake. Japan's been getting hit hard. This entire pocket right here is it's getting very scary in this area. And then I just noticed this one too. In fact, I think I pointed this one out last night. Yeah, I must have, because this was on the 13th. But I mean, just look, it's just tons of quakes. Not so much along here in the last 7 days, but along here, yes, yes, yes. And then Alaska has been very quiet, but I'm sure if I change the magnitude to 2.5 and higher, there you go. There you see the Alaskan quakes. So these are a lot of twos and threes, still significant. And also, when you turn the twos and threes on, you see what's going on in the U.S. In fact, this quake here was, I believe, today. This 4.2 west of Bandon, Oregon, off the coast here, right on the stone steps. Dutch Sense speaks about this all the time. He is a master at his craft, so if you want to really get into the details of earthquakes, I highly recommend his channel. I'm learning a lot as I go, and then check out Central U.S. guys. We're shaking too. We got the New Madrid fault line right along the Mississippi River, which is, in my opinion, overdue. We got the San Andreas, which is way overdue. We got Puerto Rico and parts of Dominican Republic just getting rocked on a daily basis. And then this 6.1. This was the quake that convinced me that we're getting close to seeing something that the U.S. is going to notice. Yeah, the Ed joining DD if you want. You could post that link. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to approve it if you post it. Posting again so you see it. The tornado was on April 21st, 2019, Somerville, South Carolina, Berkeley County. Misimpressed, you're posting on your channel, or are you posting in the feed here? Excuse me. I don't know where that came from. Do you know what would be awesome? If Leak Project just came in and said hi. But he's out traveling. He's busy right now. He's out there on the road, guys. He's boots on the ground type. He's another one that I will follow. If I had the time and the money and all that stuff, I would get in my truck right now and I would go meet him, and I would meet up with him right now. Rex had LeakCon at the moment. Yes, that's right. They were, I believe he was live streaming a couple hours ago with a couple friends of his. They were doing multiple live streams about a conference they're doing. So LeakCon, I hope that is very successful for him. He deserves that. He definitely does. That guy works his butt off non-stop. He is on here every day, all day. Oof. I don't like this. This is not fun. Check Tornado HQ again real quick. Good. Expired. Everything's expired as of now, but if you look at the chart here, guys, these reds, this is what you're going to see causing the tornadoes. It's those straight line fronts. So when you see, like, it's rare you see straight angles in weather. So, I mean, when you see that, it does happen from time to time. There's no doubt about it. But usually when you see those straight line angles, those are straight line winds, which are basically, if you guys remember, I spoke about a situation just recently over the last couple days. There was a hailstorm right near the Outer Banks of North Carolina where they have never seen hail, ever. Like, never seen it. And this wasn't just some small hailstorm. These things were pretty significant. So I'm sure it got a lot of people shook in that area. But it was one of those straight line storms that just came. It was in eastern Tennessee, and then within an hour, it shot across North Carolina and was out in the ocean within an hour and a half. And I'm very confident that that's what caused that hailstorm. And usually with hail, you associate tornadoes. So I'm sure they were worried about tornadoes in that area. And in fact, on Tornado HQ, they were mentioning North Carolina as having storms capable of producing tornadoes. So I'm telling you, this isn't just a tornado alley situation where tornadoes happen. I already told you guys, Western PA got slammed with one recently. West Virginia, too, right here. The border of West Virginia, Kentucky, and Virginia. And then we got the Chesapeake Bay, Maryland, Baltimore. And then good old DC's in there, too. But this is the issue right here, guys. You see all these gray areas? That is where all these tornado warnings have been and are. And we have another blow up going on in Texas. So we could check this again real quick. They're not adding many frames to it, but just to roll back and just look what they dealt with over the last 18 hours. So Texas, Oklahoma. And just look at the center here. Look at these colors. That's serious stuff. And it's moving like a monster. It's moving like it's alive. And then when you get black in there, that's super weather. That's where you get your superstorms. That's where you get your 70 and 80 mile an hour wind gusts. And that's what will spawn your tornadoes. And then when you see these straight lines here, like these cutoffs, that's where you'll get tornadoes spinning off. You'll get them spinning off on this side. It's those straight line winds. You can kind of see one right here. You back it up a little bit and you can see how, like, when these straighten out, boom, you'll get a tornado there. This one here, boom, you'll get a tornado there. Very hard to predict until they're basically there for you to see. And if you're using a very detailed Doppler radar, which I don't have up right now, I'm trying to just give you the overall gist of what's going on in the U.S. And you can see yourself, it's just a bunch of crushed up Skittles all over the place. But look at that turn right there, okay? So watch right here. Watch this area here. In fact, let me pull this up on my tablet too, because it's showing a very similar thing. Get that up. And this would be, so if we back up and then go straight up, look at that. That's, it just out of nowhere, boom. It just wraps right into Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota. So just the wind alone. And then you see those blues and purples. That's because of the temperature change. Like up in here, this is frozen. Frozen solid up here. And it's still parts of Minnesota, North Dakota. Still very cold. Super cold at night. And then, like I said, once again, you keep moving forward. You're seeing the purples in California near the Sierra Nevadas. But it's just these shapes. Like, you don't see storms do this that often. And yes, it has to do with the jet stream and multiple situations. So we have low pressure systems coming down from Canada, while we have a low pressure system coming in from Alaska, and a low pressure system coming in from the Baja region. and then this all mixes in the middle of the U.S., it's like, you can't live on the coastlines anymore because you're either getting hurricanes or you're getting these crazy out of season storms that are forcing you inland. But then when you get to the middle of the country, it's just as bad, if not worse. I mean, Texas is taking a beating. Oklahoma, Arkansas. I mean, Arkansas is just covered in complete storms right now, and so is North Louisiana. There's Christopher. Chris, if you want to type your YouTube channel in here, I'll go to the link and then we could share it with everyone. Because that needs to happen. We let them sleep in our waiting room since we were downtown Charleston flood. Wow, that's very generous of you, Miss Impress. Very generous. Of course you can. Of course you can. Which one's this, True Helper? Let's just open it. Here's Chris Adams. I've been talking with Chris over the last couple hours. Amazing photographer. He needs way more than this. This is ridiculous for the skill this guy has. In fact, he's part of the reason why I'm getting this live stream going right now. Watch this video with the frog and the worm, and then here are his moon videos from tonight. Very, very good shots. I'm not going to expose his equipment because then you're all going to go buy it, and I'm just kidding. But no, these are impressive videos. In fact, let's watch one right now. There we go. That is our blue moon. Adam's photography, full moon, rising fast. Chris, that's up to you if you want to post what equipment you're using. And a lot of you may be surprised. I was, to be honest. But that's a great shot. And it's very hard to avoid these wavy lines. Even if you're outside, if your tripod is steady as can be, it's hard to not get these waves. Unfortunately, when I'm filming the moon, I have to shoot over a valley, which has a lot of light pollution. So I don't, I want to catch the moon right as it's coming over the horizon, but that's right where all the pollution is. So you get these crazy waves. It messes with the quality of the image, and then it's not until it gets way up high in the sky that I can actually get my decent images. But this stuff is wonderful. And these are the views you get when you get to see cool things passing by the moon. And when I say cool things, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. And it ain't airplanes. Even though he did get an airplane. Right, Chris? Yeah, Carol, definitely. He needs more subs. It's crazy. He has 8 subs with the type of videos he has. It's crazy. And then what was that other channel I wanted to put up? This was Chris here. In fact, I'll post it here so you guys can click on it and go right to it. There you go. The link should be posted so you guys can actually just click it and go right to his channel. We'll do this close-up one he did right here. One view. Like, come on. Really? Unbelievable. There we go. Alright, I'll look this up. I'm playing that one again. That was awesome. The bird flyby, that's right. You see a bird just whip right by the moon. It may have already happened. There it is. That thing went whoop. You see that? Watch. I'll go back. Watch right here. Boom. That was like 8 birds. Maybe 4. Half of 8. 4. That's awesome. Let's pause it. I want to pause it right there. That's awesome, man. I mean, think about it. Think about how far he's zoomed in, guys, okay? How far zoomed in he is on this moon, and then to see these birds of this size in front of the moon. I mean, just these birds are so far away, and they're still showing up like that. It's amazing. But need I say more? I mean, this guy deserves a lot more. All right, we're up to 14 now, so we got some more on there, and we'll get plenty more on. All right, let me get to the Ed joining DD. Did you post the link or no? I'm sorry. If not, I'm just gonna look the name up and. There you go. Thank you, True Helper. Yeah, it's because I either have to post it or True Helper has to post it. You know what? We'll just do the search and we'll find it. That's what we're going to do. Interesting. There we go. This kid deserves. Let's go. Get over here, people. Subscribe, like. These are all people. These small channels deserve more than what they're getting. And I am all about that. There's so many people out there that put in so much work and they get amazing footage, they get amazing captures, and they are not getting the credit they deserve. And it's not fair. It's really not, because there's too many channels out there that take up all the credit. A lot of channels with work that they don't even do, they're just reposting it, and they're, getting, all the subs and attention and stuff. And it's people like this, the adjoining DED and Chris Adams that, have the talent and do the work and put the effort in and stuff like that. And it's just, it's unfortunate. It's just the way, I guess it's just the way the world is, But if I have anything to do with it, I'm going to help you guys out any way I can. Watch EDD Drop Soup. All right, let's watch it. Where is it? Ah, there we go. This isn't going to get me in trouble, is it, bud? Anything bad in this video, or is it just funny? Good. I trust you. I know there might be an echo. I was seeing if there's any audio on this channel. Are you gonna eat the shells, bud?
Writing's not that easy, but Grammarly can help. This sentence is grammatically correct.
All right. Actually, wait, let me make sure I turn the, we're not back to that echo stuff, are we? Alright, good. I put the volume on and then I turned my mic off, so. I agree, Killzone. That was quite interesting. Oh, and by the way, I meant to say this too, that, you know, it registered as a 6.8. I know they have to go in and do their detail work and adjust things, and it ended up being a 6.2. But that quake was right here, and there's no buoys going off whatsoever. And there was a little bit of a, they had a tsunami information posted with that. They had tsunami info with that quake. These are the tsunami buoys themselves. And there's two right here. You got two here, right near Fiji. We got New Caledonia. And then there's one functioning by New Zealand, which, God, I wish they had more if this whole thing about the tsunami is going to be true. Ugh, I hope not. I really hope not. And then this Southern California buoy needs to start working. I don't know why. I actually made a mistake in a past video. The red buoys are actually buoys that haven't reported data in 8 hours. So it does not necessarily mean that they are down or broken. It just means that they have not reported data in 8 hours. Now, this blinking here does not mean that there is a tsunami buoy going off. This is showing you what it's going to look like on this chart if you see it. And once it does get triggered, it goes off for 24 hours. So an earthquake can happen, the buoy will start flashing, and you could come back to the site 18 hours later and it's still shaking even though the tsunami threat has come and gone. They keep these flashing for 24 hours. So your best bet if you are studying this type of stuff is to find out exactly when the quake happened, and then you'll know more detail. So I do understand why they keep them going for 24 hours, so people can be aware and do their, study it and get the correct detail. But they do a lot of adjustments. I have to say that. I mean, I guess it's, even with the technology we have today, it takes time to just get things down to where they should be. Joe Weather, True Helper, can you let my link to my channel? Yeah, we could throw Joe Weather's link up there. Yeah, shallow quakes, no tsunami. Very true. I mean, unless it's like a landslide of some sort that causes it, or like in Alaska, like a chunk of ice falls into the water. But you got to really have a big quake in the ocean. You got to have a real big jolt down there at the bottom of the ocean to cause the waves, if I'm not mistaken, right, Chris? That's awesome, Kelly. Oh, I know. Yeah, the adjoining DD, they demonetized that one very quick because I didn't put a warning up. So what I did was I just demonetized the video. I'm allowed to post the videos. I mean, they are mine, and all those guys are well aware that they were on the on camera, so I'm allowed to post it. But the issue is that when anything that comes to stunts or Jackass or CKY or anything of that nature, you have to have a legit warning, and you also have to have it set to 18 years and older. So basically, it has to be set as an adult video. Did anything come of this invest in the Atlantic? Actually, it actually boosted up from 30 to 40%. So the answer to that is yes. In fact, let's go to spaghetti-models.com, Mike's weather page, another amazing website. I try to reach out to this guy all the time to thank him, but I know he's busy. But here you go. It has jumped up. 40% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days. So let's read it. An area of low pressure is expected to form within the region of disturbed weather located several hundred miles southwest of Bermuda during the next couple days. This system could gradually develop into a tropical or subtropical cyclone while it moves northward or northwest through Tuesday. Environmental conditions are forecast to become unfavorable for further development by the middle of the week. So we got to watch this for a couple days. I'll be all over this. Don't worry about that. The next special tropical weather outlook will be issued by 2 p.m. Eastern Time Sunday, which will be what? That's tomorrow, yes? That's now. That's today. Sorry. Guys, I'm telling you, I get my days so messed up working nights. It's crazy. So we got 10% chance over 48 hours, but 40% over 5 days. So they're not expecting it to happen in the next 2 days, if at all. If anything, it needs more time to develop, which means there's more time for change. So you can't. I mean, yes, during hurricane season, like after June 1st, you see this. I mean, people are jumping on saying it's going to be a hurricane. But just with the early part of the season right now, I mean, yeah, it is. This is semi-rare to see a 40 to 60% orange-colored possible invest on the 19th of May. So we got to keep an eye out for it. And again, when you get back to places like Tropical Tidbits or even Ventus Sky. Do I have Ventus Sky pulled up? Because we can look into the next 5 days on Ventus Sky. And let's just see. Let's see what they have to say. And on this website, what you usually want to do if you want to check out hurricane information is you go to this bar of tabs here, and you go to wind speed. Now that changes this to a different format. So you can go to wind gusts, but that will tell you what's going on within a 1 hour period. That's not what you want to look at for hurricanes unless you're looking at a hurricane itself. And also, this is very important. A lot of people use this to trick people. If you change this to 100 meters off the ground, you have to picture yourself 300 feet above the ground. As you get higher in the sky, the wind becomes stronger and stronger. So, for example, you see how you get your beige yellows here and your oranges? Now watch what happens when I change this to 1,000 meters. All right, now you see it's red and it's 60 miles an hour. But when you go down to where human beings live, for the most part, it's 29 miles per hour. So a lot of people, they will crop this part of the chart out. They will set it to 100. And then they will show you, oh my God, there's a hurricane coming with 90-mile-an-hour winds when they have it set to an area where people don't live to, get you to click on it. So we'll stay at 10 meters. We'll go through the days. It says over the next 5 days, they're expecting something to form here. This is the automatic. We'll go to the GEM. That's been pretty accurate. We'll check all of them, actually. We're on the 19th. Here's the 20th. The 21st. You can see a little rotation right there. 22nd. So that's the 2-day part. They're not expecting anything in 2 days, but look at the Pacific Ocean here. 1, 2, 3 possible invests. Because remember, there is also an invest going on. Where is it? Right here. This one dropped as we've been live. So this is a 30% chance cyclone formation over 5 days, which is clearly showing on Ventus Sky. You can see it right here. So we're on the 22nd. We're 3 days out from current time, and you can see 3 possible rotations. So That proves that point right there. It does not mean there's going to be a hurricane by any means, but as we move closer and closer, look at that. We could zoom in a little bit, and remember, this is 10 meters off the ground, 30 feet, and we're looking at tropical storm, um, tropical storm speeds. Once you hit those 70s and 80s, that's category 1. So this very well may turn into a situation, but then when you get to the 25th, it kind of disappears. You're going to get a lot of those. You're going to see a lot of these pop up real quick and then disappear because it's early in the season. The water's just getting right for them to stay. It's got to be a good 80 to 85 degrees, I believe, for these things to be sustained. And as they move into cooler water, you got to realize the water up here is very cold. I know California is a warm area, but the ocean is freezing. It's freezing, trust me. So any of these things that move up here, they tend to dissipate. And if anything, it's been a long time, California will get the remnants of a hurricane or even the remnants of a tropical storm. It's not really a hurricane-prone area, but if you guys remember last year, some of these things shot out towards Hawaii as category 3s and 4s, and we had some pretty big scares in Hawaii as far as these invests went. But that's the Pacific side, so let me get back on track here. See, I get pulled in all different directions. But we'll go back to the 20th. And again, within 5 days, they're calling for 40 to 60% chance of cyclone formation. I'm seeing more of that in the Pacific right now than I'm seeing right here, even though the percentage is higher. They could be talking about this, which would be good because that's out in the Atlantic. Thanks to our jet stream, that'll push it right out. But we'll go those 5 days. Let's see what they have to say in the 5 days. 23rd, 24th, and that's all I'm seeing is the Pacific side right here. And then the 25th, 26th, and the 27th. And one constant I see is the upflow from the Gulf, and I always talk about this. Pull the chat up real quick. Sorry, I can't keep jumping in here to look. Salvis, where are you? There you go. I see you, buddy. Harvest water. Ay, caramba. Yes, Chris. Like I said, we're gonna be sharing work for sure. Dropping in, gonna go to sleep. Krato, thank you very much for being here, buddy. Julianne Steele, how are you, dear? I just saw that you're in here. How are you? Oh, God. You are the man. You are the man. In fact, I don't even know why I clicked that off. Dwell in it. You guys are great. You guys are all just great. Anyway, what I was saying, this upflow from the Gulf is a very important thing, and it plays a huge part in everything that's going on, including right now. So even if I go back to the 20th, which is tomorrow, we always have this upflow coming from the Gulf. Always, 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 always. So no matter what, you start getting an invest in this area. That's why when Harvey hit Houston, it got in this area and it just beelined right to Houston. Boom, boom. Came back out and went back in. Same deal with Katrina. Katrina got into the Gulf, and this upflow from the Gulf pushed it right into Louisiana. I mean, it's the way the northern hemisphere works. We always have this east to west movement from the west side of Africa that comes over this way. That's why these hurricanes always come this way. When they do make it up into this area, that's because there's a break in the high pressure bubble, which usually forms around this time of year. You get a big high pressure bubble and everything wraps around it. And then if there is a break in it, you'll see hurricanes like we saw with Hurricane Jose. It'll come right up to the middle. And that thing kind of just sat there and gave us a scare for a while. But as of right now, as far as this invest is going, not this one. We can get rid of that. We'll check tropical tidbits once more before we let you go. This one can go. I think we're good with earthquakes for tonight. In fact, let's just get back to current and see if there's anything happened recently. I know, guys, I get all over the place sometimes, but that's what happens when we get into good conversations, you know? Newest first. There we go. All right, so what's the strongest one been in the last couple hours? Iran. All right, so they're getting some action in Iran, Middle East. Which actually makes sense because, you know, in this area, this is where our hurricanes come from, at least the ones that come off the West African coast here. These storms fly right over the desert. You'll see them in patches. And as they hit this area, Cape Verde Islands, and then it's game on from then on. Depending on the high pressure bubble, depending on how fast that movement is, like we look at on Ventu Sky, I'll back out. You're going to see the exact same thing. The storms will come off here. They will dip down into the Cape Verde Islands, and then they start traveling like this. You could see right where the northern and southern hemispheres meet. It's right here in this area. And they come off right here, and it's just like the makeup of this part of Africa and the Cape Verde Islands is just in the perfect area to where these storms come right here, and they just go boom. You never see them come down this way. They don't cross that path, and if they do, they would have to reverse direction. Because remember, southern hemisphere cyclones and typhoons spin clockwise. Northern hemisphere counterclockwise. That's a big thing to remember. See, this is all above the equator. They're spinning clockwise. Anything below this, counterclockwise. See that? This is why you never want to take a boat in between this area. This is known as the most dangerous area probably on Earth to sail. I mean, this is 10 meters off the ground, and you get 42-mile-an-hour winds constantly spinning counterclockwise. Like, it's just, it's like impossible. I mean, look at this. 58 miles per hour, 30 feet off the ground right now. Just about, 500 miles under New Zealand? I mean, then you're getting to Antarctica and stuff like that. That's why this area is so crazy. Here's the Indian Ocean, still producing semi-cyclones. I mean, just this stuff's out of season now. Everything should be moving to the east, which we're seeing here. This is interesting. I didn't see this one before. Let's move forward a little bit and see if that forms. Or maybe it already did form and... Actually, you know what? I believe this was an invest after Ann. I know Ann clipped right here, Cyclone Ann, but it weakened dramatically before it did hit. You're the man. If they want to know that, the whale wars. Oof, yeah, I've been reading about that. That's just a messed up situation. Yes, I want to say about 10 more minutes, True Helper. 10 more minutes. I don't want to go too crazy with it tonight. I am, buddy. Yes. The Ed joining DD. We're going to cut this soon. On that note, actually, is there anything you guys would like to see before we do that? What's going on in North Carolina? Let's check it out. We'll check our county by county chart. We can actually get rid of this. So we all know there's a possible invest going on in Central America on the Pacific side. We'll see what happens with this. 30% chance over 5 days. Wow, I already forgot the question. Let's go back. What's going on in North Carolina? Okay, so we're on this here. North Carolina right now. There's nothing highlighted as far as county stuff, but when it comes to rain and upcoming weather, this is a good chart to use. South Carolina, you got a little bit of a sell going on here. Not sure what that's going to produce, but I was talking earlier about North Carolina, about that hailstorm you guys had, but I think that was closer to the Outer Banks in South Carolina, right? Or North Carolina, rather. This is North Carolina, South Carolina. So North Carolina, yes, you have a sell here, And then you got the Outer Banks, which had that hailstorm. And depending on, see, this is what I do a lot of, guys. I'll sit here and I'll hit play on this and I'll let it loop for a good 20 minutes over and over and over and over again. I know it sounds crazy, but what it does is it trains your eye to start seeing how things move, and it gives you not the answer, but it gives you like it's almost like working a muscle. You know, it's like muscle memory. Your brain's a muscle. Um, and the more you watch these things and the more that you get used to seeing patterns, even though a lot of these patterns are being broken in the last couple of years, like weather's not following the normal rules lately, you get a sense of what to expect. Now, with that said, you could see this moisture moving into California and the upper west. Um, this to me is going to break into two systems. This one is rolling up. It's going to roll up this way. You could see the pressure from this is keeping this flattened out. So we have a system coming down from Canada, which is also part of this system here if you wrap it around. So this is one system moving almost in a western way. Then you have this system that is being pushed against it. It's getting flattened out and forced upwards. And then the bottom of the system is breaking apart. You can see the break right here. And this is what's going to dip down and come in this direction. And then more times than not, these things end up meeting right here. And that's why Texas and Louisiana and Arkansas and so on and so forth, that is why we see these massive storms happening in the middle of the country. It's because you have all these different atmospheric conditions happening at once. I mean, storms just don't move on their own. They're moved by other systems and other pressures. The jet stream, shear winds, trade winds, all sorts of things. So it's memory. It's just watching these charts over and over and over and seeing what they produce. But we've been seeing things that we've never seen before. So it's very hard to say that to you guys and then have you go do it and be like, what am I looking at? Because sometimes I look at these charts and I'm like, what is going on? Like, is this even happening? You know, weather is a very, very hard subject to teach and to, predict. That's why I don't do much predicting. I do a lot of on the spot, letting you know what's going on or what's going to come in the next couple hours, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yes, I have considered hurricane hunting. In fact, there is someone that lives right up the street from me who I've been driving by every day, and I swear, I haven't stopped and asked him yet, but I swear he is making a weather van. He's up there cutting the top of the roof off. He's reinforcing, from what I saw, he's reinforcing the inside of the van. It could be a band for all I know. I mean, like I said, I have not stopped to talk to the guy. Where is the tornado warning? As of right now, I believe they have expired, but this is the site I've been using, tornadohq.com. I'll hit refresh. And, all right, okay, so we do have two more. Let's read these. Okay, so at 12:57 a.m. Central Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing tornadoes was located near the town of Bluff, moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. That's Texas. And the next one is also Texas, Jasper and Tyler counties. So if you're in those counties, I suggest you either take a break from this site and go check your local weather. That is very important. That's much more important than this live stream. But besides that, Kansas and the other ones in Texas have expired according to this site. But again, guys, just looking at this site here, it's not over in Texas. I mean, you go to frame 200, you hit stop, we still have significant severe weather in Texas. So that is why you're seeing on Tornado HQ that there's still, as of 7 minutes ago, now 8 minutes ago, this tornado warning is still very active. And if we look at the full warning, you get extra detail. So this is a good site, even though it's a beta site. They have not got it down pat yet, but it's been very, very accurate lately. So to answer that question, that is the tornado situation right now. Texas and yes, Kansas obviously is above Texas, so Kansas would be the next area if there's going to be more of these tornado warnings tonight. And like I said, Tyler and Jasper counties in southeastern Texas until 1:45 a.m. Central Time. Impressive, Chris. Yes, very impressive. Chris is a photographer by definition, for sure. Man, Kelly, if I can get that all together, I would definitely join you as a storm chaser. Absolutely. I would join any one of you as storm chasers. I wonder how that guy, Boss Hank, is doing. I'm curious too. Salvis. He's a crazy photographer. He sent me a picture today of a snake that wanted to bite him in the face. You look at the face of this snake, and the thing's like, I'm about to bite you in your face. I wish I could just post that picture right here, Chris, and just show them. That thing was, oh man. You see its tongue with the hole where the venom shoots out of, just wide open. Its eyes are just glazed over, staring right at the camera. Which time lapse, Jay Grace? I'm sorry. It's hard to read all the messages at once, but which time lapse you talking about? Thorn News. You know what? Him and I, we've been talking back and forth a little bit. He had some issues with his equipment recently, so I try to keep my live streams um, not going on when he's doing one, so we don't step on each other's toes. I mean, I respect the guy. He works hard. So, yes, in the future, him and I have spoken, and we have both said yes to collaborating and work. So, I mean, if anything, it would be maybe like a dual live stream, and he can make you guys laugh, and that's what he does. He's a funny guy. He's fun to watch, and he's a good storm. He's a good storm guy. He's good at what he does. That guy's very talented. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I don't know. I mean, and I don't understand why. I know he gets into some pretty, deep, deep topics, outside of weather and stuff like that, but that's no reason for. I mean, he's not out there, outing people or anything like that from what I know, but I mean, I don't think that's fair at all. I don't think it's fair at all what they did to him. My time lapse for a thunderstorm cell. Yeah, I could see. We'll see if we could do that. In fact, I mean, like I said, this is all right. So I'll back this up to about because, like I said, who's been asking the question about North Carolina? This is frame 200, so this is current time right now. This frame you're seeing right here. This is what's going on as we speak. So if I back this up to before that cell was there, just keep an eye on North Carolina. I'm back about probably 7 hours, and I'll just hit play, and you can kind of get an idea of how that cell popped up. So you could see that mess there on the west side of South Carolina, and then north, and then that cell pops up out of nowhere. So let me get back to here or there, and watch. It just, boom, it just forms right there. And in my opinion, that is exactly, besides the fact that it's not a straight line looking storm, that's the exact way that hailstorm happened. But this thing was like a bow, like picture like a bow and arrow and the wooden part of the bow. That thing, it was actually curled this way, and it just shot right across from Tennessee and Kentucky, straight across North Carolina. And then I was reading all about how all these people in North Carolina never saw hail before, and they had a major hailstorm. So, I'm not telling you to, get worried over this, but yes, there is a storm cell, pretty decent sized one there too. In fact, if we can refresh the county by county chart, and then unfortunately, I really got to let you guys go. It's getting late for me here. Um, there's no warnings or anything going on in South or North Carolina as of now. That beige pink color, those are marine statements, so maybe they are expecting the Outer Banks to have a little bit of a situation later on, but nothing as far as inland goes as of right now. The biggest part of this, in fact, here's what we just saw with the 2 tornado warnings in East Texas, is this red right here. Tornado warnings. So again, guys, just to go off these charts, the charts are dead on right now. You got that red in these 2 counties right here, and then you go to Tornado HQ, and there they are. This is exactly where those red dots are on that county by county chart in Jasper and Tyler. California, they're just getting smashed with everything. Snow, rain, mudslides. What sites do you use? Isaiah, a lot of the sites I use you see up here right now. I do use other ones when I'm doing my edited videos before when I'm not doing live streams. I use a couple other websites. My brother sends me a few that I like to keep to myself only because, there's a lot of competition out there, and it's good to have a little bit of an edge sometimes. There's nothing wrong with that. But my brother's a Navy meteorologist, so I save those for some of my edited videos. But yes, these are all websites anybody can access at any time. This is weather.gov. This shows you county by county. This is just a simple GIF image of what to expect over the next 4 or 5 days. You can get that from spaghettymodels.com. This is a great website for weather sites. It's got basically 50, 60 different websites on it alone, and you could check everything. And here's another one you can look at. This shows you why we're seeing, here's that chance of development, but see that arrow there? That's our jet stream pushing it out to sea. So even though it's at 40%, 40 to 60%, chances are it's not going to have any sort of effect on the U.S. It's just possibly going to take up a letter in our alphabet. So, which usually happens in April and May, at least in the last couple of years. But the point being is that here is the highest part of the energy, highly favorable for tropical intensity, is this area. And then when we went to Ventus Sky, we saw it with our own eyes. There was actually 3 of them right here, and they have a 30% chance of cyclone formation as of right now. And now you're starting to see the red bleed into the South Caribbean in the Atlantic Ocean, and that's when you're going to start seeing these things start spinning out here. Got a little area here, and this area here has to do with that 40 to 60% chance of that cyclone formation. But again, the jet stream is moving in a way where chances are it's going to push that back out, and then it's going to be like Ireland and those areas that might have to deal with that one, unfortunately. We'll be talking a lot about them too. We can get rid of that for now. So yeah, here's what I was talking about. The 30% chance in the Pacific. And then 40% chance cyclone formation over here. You can see it's to the west of the Bahamas even, and it's curling this way. So, I mean, unless we do some sort of dramatic hook back into the U.S., I really don't see this being much of anything except for a letter. It might be the letter A. And then we'll go on to B and C and D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. But still, this chart has not changed, guys. So let's close this out, actually. True Helper, you ready to go, bud? What's the name of the video weather? And yeah, Chris, once you have those uploaded, I'll definitely... Yeah, BC Dream. We've been on for a minute. And guys, just so you know, I want to say this again while I have you in here. I'm sure a lot of you heard this before, but as far as the notification button goes, I don't know if they changed it or what, or if I'm going through one of those situations where they kind of just took some of my subs off of it. I think there's 3 clicks now. You can either have the bell off, you click it once and it's filled with gray. That will give you some notifications. But then if you click it a third time, you get these 2 quote marks next to it. That will allow you to get every single notification I put out. So I highly recommend you do that if you enjoy following this channel, because that's been a real frustrating thing for me. A lot of people have been emailing me and commenting saying they're not getting any notifications for my videos. And, you know, that's very discouraging when you put a lot of work into them. So if you have that bell clicked and you do have those quotes on it and you're still not getting notifications, go ahead and click the bell until it's off, refresh your page, and then click it again until you have those quote marks around the bell and it's filled in gray. And you will get all notifications from the channel. Yeah, the YouTube algorithms, whether it's, you know, them or it's a mistake within YouTube, I mean, there's nothing I can do about that. All I can do is just remind you guys to keep an eye on the bell and make sure that you do have that. And every so often, it doesn't hurt to just go unclick it and then re-click it again. But just make sure you re-click it, of course. Isaiah McKinley, good night to you too. Thank you for being here. Same to you, Lizard Layers. Question 1, how's your day been going? Question 2, what's your name? My name is Brian. Question 1, how's my day going? My day's going great, and it went a lot more great after I got on here and got a lot of help from you guys getting this stream going. Before that, I was trying to get some footage together and really wanted to get a weather report out. I've been doing a lot of earthquake stuff, but I think I'm going to start sticking to a little more weather, being that we're approaching the hurricane season. And, you know, the earthquake stuff is getting very touchy lately. So long story short, I don't want it to affect the channel in a negative way. And question 3, storms for Monday and Tuesday in Oklahoma. How's it looking? Oof, I don't want to give you bad news, but we're pretty much going to see these waves we've been seeing. They're kind of, you know, I just kind of explained this a little bit, how we have a system moving down from Canada over Montana and West Virginia and Idaho. And then we got another one coming in that's hitting into Southern California, Nevada, and Arizona. And then you see them split up. One dips down, and one starts coming up towards this way. And then they both start rotating right here. So, yes, it's just that time of year, guys. Oklahoma, you're going to get your rain. You're going to get your tornado warnings. But I'm not saying that it's going to be, you know, just nightmarish, you know, forever. It's going to come. It's going to go. We're going to get through it. And then it's going to be summer. So, but with that said, I will be here to let you know way in advance whether or not you have something to worry about or not. That's a promise I have to all of you. And was there another question? Was there a fourth one? Nope, I got all 3 in there. Good. Rhonda Frazier, it's okay. It'll be posted as a video. You can go back and watch it again, but was it a notification issue? I mean, have you been online and you were not notified, or did you just get online late? Chris. Dude, I'm telling you, man. I'll tell people we're doing a half-hour live stream, and it'll be 6 hours later that I'm closing it. I just can't stop sometimes. It's it's my schedule. It's my sleep schedule. I sleep during the day and I'm up all night. It's from working nights, man. And when I used to do the hurricane videos, I had those videos out by 7 a.m., 6, 7 a.m. And that's usually crunch time because a lot of people are waking up for work then. They check their YouTube. You know, they want to see what's going on. And then they check again either on lunch and then again around 5 o'clock. And I'm here posting around 1, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. So I got to make that change. I'm going to have to sacrifice my sleep for you guys, and I don't mind doing it. I get all your notifications. Okay, well, maybe you jumped on late, but I'm glad you said that because we had that conversation a little while ago about how a lot of people are not getting the notifications. Doris, no, thank you for being here because if not for you guys, we would have no one to talk to or do this for. Solvis, I know. The only thing good about mornings, man, is a good sunset, take a good picture, or really that's about it. You're right. Mornings are rough. All right. I think we're good here, guys. You guys are amazing, by the way. Thank you so much for all this. True Helper, I can't thank you enough. I do not expect you to be available all the time. I really, really appreciate you jumping in for Caroline. She is exhausted. She needs to get rest. Um, I'm going to try to get one more person. I'm going to have at least 3 on standby. Solvis, I believe you and I spoke briefly about this too. Obviously, Chris, you are definitely someone I would put as a moderator. So, Kelly, you too, of course. Show, yes. And we did get Chris's YouTube out there. That's good. All right, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. BC Dream, yes, I answered your questions. That's good. All right, and I'll leave you guys with this. Let's just get out of this site, this site, this site, this site. Still got the lightning down there. Keep everyone in Louisiana overnight tonight in Arkansas. Stay alert, please. That's all I can ask of you. Tsunami buoys. There's our live stream. And I'll just run through this one more time. I'll hit play. We can get rid of the earthquake stuff. We'll keep Tornado HQ up for one more second. We can get rid of Tropical Tidbits, and we can get rid of Into Sky. I'll refresh the Tornado page. Oh, boy. All right, so yeah, these 2 warnings are still up for Jasper and Tyler. So right now, as of right now, the only tornado warnings and issues are in Texas, but because that storm is moving up, Kansas, you might be next on this, but I might not be on here to let you know about it, which is why I'm going to hit play right now. And you can see for yourself where this giant blob of storms and lightning and tornadoes is heading. And you notice as it starts curling up towards the Great Lakes, it starts turning green. That's a good thing. That means those tornadoes are not going to make it much farther than that area. So this thing is kind of moving in a eastern direction. It seems like it's going north now. Some of it does go north, and then you see the reds dissipate as it reaches the cooler areas. This hook right here has still got my mind going like, what is this? But then you see this part of it starting to move to the west. So I would say overnight tonight, obviously eastern Texas, all of Louisiana, Arkansas, and then possibly northwest Mississippi, and then Kentucky and Tennessee. Keep your eyes open tonight. I'm not saying sit up by the radio, but, have something that might alert you, set a phone app up or something of that nature, you know what I mean? But with that said, that's what I have to say. Great show, Brian. Yeah, True Helper, thank you. If not for you, man, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So I really, really appreciate your help. Seriously. Everybody, hope you have a great early morning. Sorry I kept you up so long. We're going to try to do these a little earlier. And that's when we'll start talking about more moderators and whatnot. So, Kelly, you have a great morning. Chris, great morning. Solvis, you have a great morning. All of you have a great morning. I appreciate each and every one of you. And that's going to be it, guys. Have a great evening, or morning rather. I think I said it 5 times. we're going to cut it right now. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. We will talk later on today. Mañana. Bye-bye.